Hello, welcome back. My name is Jo. Today's video is probably going to be pretty quick. We are introducing my first days in Alicante, which is the region, the province that I will be in for the upcoming school year. Hope everything goes according to plan. There have been a lot of changes and disruptions with the program that I am a part of, so taking nothing for granted. But anyway, so today is Wednesday. It's pretty late. I arrived in the evening on Monday after a absolutely hellish day of travel that should have been under an ideal schedule. I could have walked out of one door and walked into the next place door in like 5 hours, and in fact it was 10.5 hours later, and it was like 39 degrees, and so I was super worried about my cat. It was not a good situation, incredibly stressful, but everything was okay. But she was really stressed out, so yesterday I actually just did not even leave where I'm staying. I just stayed with her. She was fine by like the next morning, afternoon, but I just, out of an abundance of caution, wanted to stay with her. Also, I wasn't feeling great either. I barely ate or drank anything all day the day before, so I had a roaring headache. Also, it's really humid here. Well, not really humid, but it's quite humid here, and I was in a place with like zero humidity for like 6 weeks, so my sinuses are not appreciating the adjustment. But anyway, so this morning I finally was preparing to go out into the world. I did still do my studying in the morning while I studied German, and I did my closed master, which I'm doing in German and Spanish. I did not study Spanish. I do want to do that tomorrow. But anyway, then I just kind of wanted to wander around a bit, see things. In Alicante, I did get a matcha latte because I got into the train station and there was a big sign on the Tim Hortons that they had gotten matcha lattes, and I was like, don't mind if I do. I need to not spend any money after today because I bought 2 things, neither of which I really needed, but it was delicious. It was wonderful. I have missed a city so much. I am such a city person. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge city. It doesn't have to be like New York City, London, none of that. That's unnecessary. Like, they're cool, but I am not a small town, rural person. So anyway, it was really nice to just walk around and see things and people and different kinds of people, different kinds of fashion, all kinds of different things. It was very enjoyable. Yeah, mostly just walked around and looked at stuff today. I did go to the Modern Art Museum in Alicante, which is free. It was very cool, literally cool. It was nice to be in somewhere with air conditioning. But I did go into FNAC, I think that's how you say that, actually looking for a phone case because mine is in pieces, literally. This part that goes around, it just kind of snaps on and off whenever it feels like it. And obviously without that piece, the back piece, it just falls off. So, yeah, it's not very functional right now. I desperately need a new one, but they did not have any for the 13 mini, which is what I have. They only had them starting at the 15, so not even close. So I need to go to another store, find another store. While in there, I found this, which I have been into Moomin lately. I never was as a child or anything. We never had anything Moomin related, but I've been watching the show on YouTube in German, and I'm about to play the game in German as well. I just bought it on my iPad like last week, so amazing timing. But it's a calendar, like a planner. I really liked the like daily spreads and the way that it's laid out, because this is something that Tanya Benavente did in one of her videos where she was talking about writing. I believe it was Greek, where she wrote every day, and she used one of these like daily planners to do it. And I've always wanted to do one of those write every day journals. I even bought one time, there was a Muji notebook that was like a it was 365 pages, like specifically designed for you to write 1 page a day, and I just didn't do it. So anyway, I thought that maybe this being so cute would inspire me, and I can write in Spanish and get the practice, which I desperately need, and I can also maybe write a couple lines in German if I'm feeling inspired to do it. Primarily I want to focus on Spanish because that's where I really need to get my writing habit up, but I can add the German in if I feel like it. So anyway, I will have that video linked below, but it also has this little section at the top where you can talk about like your mood, whether you did any fitness things, reading or something like that. I can't tell exactly what that is. And then there is some front material as well. Books to read, food to try, monthly bucket list or seasonal bucket list, whatever. I don't know if I'll do that or not, but I also discovered I was watching this reel and absolutely cracking up because this guy is so funny. He tries to do these fitness challenges and he's just hilarious. But anyway, then I looked down and this was like open in front of me and I was like, I physically gasped because there's stickers. I didn't realize there's stickers. There's only one sheet of cute stickers, and then the other one is like planner stickers, which I don't know how much I'll use, but either way, I'm excited about the stickers. I do think I'm going to try to write my page today and call it a night. Oh, yesterday I watched K-pop Demon Hunters. Actually, I think I watched part of it yesterday, part of it this morning. I can't remember. But anyway, thought it was so cute, loved it. I watched it in Spanish, and now I'm going to watch it in German. I might do that tonight, actually. And today I was listening to the soundtrack for quite a while. Mostly while I was walking around, I just listened to stuff in English. I have a couple English podcasts that I'll put on the screen that I have gotten really behind listening to because I've been so focused on Spanish, and so I caught up on some of those and listened to music because largely it was so loud that I wouldn't have wanted to I started out listening to my audiobook and I did listen to quite a bit of that, but I didn't want to miss huge portions of an audiobook, obviously. So anyway, that has been day 1. We're just going to call this day 1 in Alicante because the rest of the time I've been here hasn't really counted for anything. But in case anyone was worried about the baby, she is doing great. The cat, I don't have a baby. She's doing totally fine now. And where I was before, I did not have access to the food that she really likes and the treats that she really likes, both of which can be purchased at Mercadona. And there was not one of those where I was for the past 6 weeks. So she has been roughing it with food that she really disliked. And so the first thing I did when we got here and I had gotten her unpacked and everything was march over to Mercadona and A, get stuff that I wanted to eat because I also have missed Mercadona, and B, get her food and treats. And so she has been over the moon about this. I do definitely want to get her some more stability though, because although she's been a total trooper about this whole experience, this is definitely not the way that I would prefer to, provide for her as a cat mom. So anyway, I will see you later.